Alright guys, what's going on? It's your boy Yugioh here. Whoop-de-doo. Grand Creators is coming out. If I don't sound too excited, it's because Adventure is going to be the most lame engine that I've ever seen. Everyone and their mother is about to use it. So 3 new archetypes that comes out in Grand Creators, and we're gonna go through each of them. I have what you could say outlines for each archetype. So the first archetype is the P.U.N.K archetype, and it's a bunch of like Asian culture inspired psychic level 3 monsters with some level 8 monsters that look very stylish. And the fact that, you know, all level 3s are psychics also does synergize with the emergency teleport. Every level 3 in this deck like does something significant. So Seaman, he pays 600 to search, he pays 600 to fusion summon, and he can also excel synchro during your opponent's turn. And that's not just during their main phase, that's at any point during their turn. And that's going to come up later on for a really good reason. Next, we have the Madame Spider. Madame over here can pay 600 to add a P.U.N.K trap from your deck to your hand. There's another one that pays 600 to add a P.U.N.K spell, but the P.U.N.K spells are garbage. Like, they would be one-ofs at most because they have some gimmicky effects, but for the most part, this is a combo deck, and gimmicky cards in combo decks, it usually doesn't go well. You need consistency, and this spell card, Searcher, she isn't really going to get you that. I might have just misgendered a Yu-Gi-Oh card. So your level 8s are actually really interesting because Numero Ogre, so she can send herself from field or hand to grave to search any P.U.N.K monster from your deck that isn't a level 8 monster. And same thing for Foxy Tune, except she sends herself and another card as well to special summon any P.U.N.K monster from your deck that is not a level 8 monster. And so this adds a lot of variety to the deck because now you have 3 Rotas, that's a level 8 monster, and now you have what, like 4 E-Tellies, because now you can play the Foxy Tune. You can even play it at 3, you can make it 5 E-Tellies. The reason why this is so significant is because all of the level 3 monsters are tuners, so being able to special summon one, especially one that can search other ones that you can normal summon and then go into something like Hulk of Firebrax and then combo off of that, is really significant. And also the fact that there's no restriction for what you can summon after you summon these P.U.N.K monsters, as long as it's obtainable through the cards that you have on the field. There really is no limit to what you're allowed to summon in this deck. As more and more people master the combos, it's going to become a more interesting archetype to watch because there's going to be so much potential. So there is actually another P.U.N.K monster that is currently not in my build. When I was actually testing this deck, I actually had the no P.U.N.K Dino in my build. It doesn't come out in Grand Creators, so we're not actually going to go over it in this video. In a future update, we will talk about all the potential that the P.U.N.K archetype has, and this card just blows it out the water. There's just so much more you can do now that no P.U.N.K Dino is actually a card. So P.U.N.Ks have 2 extra deck monsters. They have their Yugioh P.U.N.K Carp Rising, and they have their Amazing Dragon. The fusion is going to be probably the one that you want to go into the most, hence why we're playing the Frightful Patchworks and the Polymerizations, because it can tribute itself and summon any 2 P.U.N.K monsters with different names from your hand or deck in defense mode, except for the level 8 monsters. And you're like, well, Yugioh, if you can't summon out the level 8s, then what's the point? Well, if you can get the fusion out without normal summoning, whether it's E-telling into Shirakusai and then being able to pay 600 and then do a fusion summon, or if you happen to draw a polymerization with 2 other P.U.N.K cards in your hand, or 2 other P.U.N.K monsters I should say, then you get to special summon out your Carp Rising, and then Carp Rising gets to summon out 2 from the deck, and then from those 2 P.U.N.K monsters you get to go double search, because you're most likely going to get the you know, Madame Spider and Seaman search one of the other monsters like Foxy Tune, and Madame Spider can search the trap card, to which you have the option between a negate, which you don't need to have a P.U.N.K monster on the field to activate, and a destruction trap card, which you do need a P.U.N.K monster on the field to destroy face-up card, but it destroys any card. Just to get rid of, I don't know, like a Meltdown, Tikaboo, or Journey of Destiny, you know, stuff like that. So it can get rid of problem cards. And so yeah, so you can go essentially get a double search and then go into Hulk of Firebrax. And then from Hulk of Firebrax, what you'll notice is that we're not playing the Cult Wing, and that's because we really don't need to. Because once we resolve Hulk of Firebrax, we go into Auroradon, and once we resolve Auroradon, we just go Cupid Pitch, and then from Cupid Pitch, we either go Chaos Ruler if you don't have the P.U.N.K cards yet, or we go Borreload. Your goal with this deck, I would say, is to set up a level 8 with your Shirakusai on your field as well, so that you can Excel Synchro into your Amazing Dragon during your opponent's turn. And so this card is like a Mistworm of sorts. When it's Synchro Summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to number level 3 psychics with different names in your grave, turn those cards to the hand. If you happen to have 3 P.U.N.K monsters in your grave, 3 level 3 P.U.N.K monsters, you get to return 3 cards back to the hand. It is still significant, you know, to get to shuffle back, I don't know, like a Verde Anaconda. A lot of ways you can use this card. The deck works out. I think it works out fine. We're playing cross-out targets, so we got the Nib, we got the Ash Blossoms, we got the Veiler, we got the Psy Reflector. In case we just want to go into Hulk of Firebacks directly off of the E-Telly and not use our normal summon, Psy Reflector is the guy. If you do happen to have like another P.U.N.K monster in your hand, you can go your Yugioh and then Tribute and then summon out your Carp Rising and then Tribute Carp Rising and then summon out 2 from deck. Also, Amazing Dragon, he has a really strict once per turn. It's 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. So he has a second effect where you can target a P.U.N.K card and P.U.N.K monster in your grave except for another copy of himself and special summon it. So if you can Excel Synchro him during your opponent's turn, then once it becomes your turn again, he has the Ignition effect where he can summon out the P.U.N.K monster from your graveyard. I really wish that we didn't, like, that this deck didn't force us to Synchro Summon Amazing Dragon on our opponent's turn, and rather just said like, hey, you know, if you Synchro Summon this card, or if this card is Synchro Summoned, it has a quick effect that can only be used once while this card's faceable on the field or something like that. And then the second effect could also be a quick effect to summon out 1 from grave, because none of them have effects on summon. So I don't think it would be really broken if you made it a strict condition. I just really wish they gave this thing like a quick effect so that it would be worth going into on your opponent's turn, or give you versatility as to how you could play it, because then that's basically the P.U.N.K archetype. There's a really cool YouTuber by the name of Toon World, and basically their whole channel is focused around the P.U.N.K archetype, and they have not only combo videos that are really stylish and really informative, especially about the support, the P.U.N.K support from Grand Creators, but they also made combo spreadsheets, which they have PDFs for. And if you guys want, we can go over them together, or you can go over them yourselves, whichever you would prefer. And shout outs to Toon World, bro, because this guy's actually like innovating the I wouldn't say innovating, but he's definitely leading this space when it comes to the P.U.N.K archetype. So real interested. He definitely got a subscriber from me, and can't wait to see what else Toon World has in store for the deck, especially once DNO comes out. I'm telling you, this card's crazy. This card makes the synchro like 10 times better. It makes the Cupid Pitch plays 10 times better. Oh yeah, Cupid Pitch searches any one of your level 3 P.U.N.K monsters. So if you feel like going Chaos Ruler to attempt to get 2 searches, so you can get 1 search and then possibly get a second. And it's like, you can go into Hulk of Firebacks off of Psy Reflector, and then go Auroradon, and then go Cupid Pitch, and then Cupid Pitch can search without even using your normal summon if you start with a 1-for-1 or an E-Telly. So it's very possible that you can get 2 different P.U.N.K monsters after going into Chaos Ruler, and then use Chaos Ruler to do something like Overlay for a 38, or Synchro into level 11, and then Chaos Ruler can just come back on field again. I don't know, just to push for game like the turn after.